Okay, what's going on, guys? So this is the deck profile. This is what I used. There's just it just wasn't good. Like, I think I focused a little bit too much. Oh, what if they do this? What if they do that? But we'll go through it and I'll explain some of my choices. So Ash. So we've got the free Ash just because it's just very generic. I barely saw it, if I'm honest. Then we've got Gamma. So the reason Gamma, I understand that a lot of decks are not playing it anymore because it's not good. But it's kind of for if I use Red Eyes Insight or Triple Tactics Talent and they try and Ash, I can use that, then go into Omega and rip a card. So that's more what I was doing. Or if I used Wear Off, no, I can't use it. Never mind that. So yeah, so to rip a card with Omega. So that's kind of what I was doing it. To be honest, that was my plan. But it never really came up. I used it sometimes for other people and it did help. I did survive, but it didn't use for the purpose intended. Then of course we played the 2 normal Buster Blader. There was a couple of times where I had to, because I either bricked and lost or bricked and grinded out until I saw Red Eyes Fusion and won, because Dragoon is a good card. Yeah, so 2 of those and one of the new ones. Again, like, you just want to use that to get into your lock. I didn't really make the lock too much. It was pretty disappointing in the tournament, really. Buster, well, never saw it. Like, if I did see it, well, occasionally when I did see it, I had 2, not 1, which is obviously not great. And then moving on, we've got the 3 Black Metal Dragon. So we've gone for the Black Metal Dragon because, so what was intended was to summon this, go into Striker Dragon, which I do not have because I forgot to put it in because I'm a fool. And then obviously search Darkness Metal, search the Boot Sector, which I also forgot to put in. Then you protect the search, and then you're going to end up with 2 on field to make Verte, wherever it is, to make Verte. And then the Boot Sector is just a negate for Dragoon. So it protects your search for Black Metal, but then it also gives you a free negate basically, and you can still use the rest of the cards in your hand. But again, I forgot to put Striker Dragon in and I forgot to put Boot Sector in, so that plan didn't really go well. And actually I saw this card one time, once. This card, however, every other hand I had this fucking prick in my hand. Every other hand. One-offs. Realistically, guys, I didn't really see Buster Blader. I didn't really see this Whelp. I didn't really see this Black Metal. I didn't really see Ash. Harpies was like nearly every hand. Magical Arts Fusion every other hand. Monster Reborn every hand. This motherfucker every other hand. Soy, Wyvern a few hands. These 2 in one game I had them in the same hand. In the same hand. Whereafter I saw a couple of times, but I had no level 1. Like, in one game I drew Imperial Order and Anti-Spell Fragrance. So just fucking crazy. But moving on. So Red Eyes Wyvern, obviously that's in here to send Red Eyes Insight. Then these are obviously to make the Dragoon. It was actually one game that I used Monster Reborn to bring back my Dark Magician and then attacked for gain. So that was quite funny. It was quite good. Then of course we've got the Called by the Grave. You just want your plays to go off. It's basically another Gamma. Duster, I always like to put something in to deal with back row. Just something. Like, I understand it doesn't help you if you go on first, but what about if you win that, you lose that dice roll and they just set 5 back pass? I like just having something in there. You should still be able to use the other 4 cards in your hand or 5 cards in your hand. Magical Eyes Fusion is obviously the follow-up to get a second Dragoon out, because I do play the 2. Monster Reborn is just an extender. Red Eyes Fusion, everyone knows what that does. It brings out your Dragoon. Red Eyes Insight to search for your Red Eyes Fusion. Triple Tactics Talent. So I sided this out every time I went second. This was in here just to try and rip an additional hand. Realistically, what I would want is Gamma to use Red Eyes Insight. They Ash or something. I'll use Gamma, rip a card with Omega, then use TTT, rip a card, So they've got like 4 cards in hand when they start their turn, but it didn't go that way. Where after that, obviously, just if I've got black metal, I can search Whelp for the follow-up turn, or if I've got Whelp, I can search black metal for the follow-up turn. 2 trap trick, just to try and make sure that I've got my prologue. Again, I rarely saw prologue in my hand, but every now and then I had a trap trick in my hand. So, like, I just don't draw 3-offs. Like, I need to just reduce everything to 2, and then I'll draw it, or 1s, and I'll draw them. Then we've got 2 Destruction Sword Memories. I know some people only play it as 1, but I like having the 2, because if you draw 1, you can still send 1, and then you can discard it for Whelp. So, just a Imperial Order and Anti-Spell Fragrance. So I play them both because I don't want to make my lock or have my back row and then them just like fuck it off with their spells, or like Lightning Storm or Harpies, something like that. So these did actually help in one game where I did it. I used Imperial Order against an invoked player, and they couldn't use their invocation. But ultimately, I did die to the 700 life points. And then 3 Strike, just because, like, Strike's a good card. If you're going second and you set your prologue, and this, you activate your prologue, and they try to negate it, you just strike. Just strike, and then it goes through. I did it in one game against someone who was playing like Crusadia Dragon Link, and yeah, they had like Boral Sword for 4 negates. They had Hieratic Seal and a Kaiju on board for negate and banish, and yeah, I summoned. So I played prologue, did that. They tried to negate and banish with the Kaiju, and I just striked the Kaiju. So easy peasy, done. Moving on into the side, we'll do the extra deck after. Well, we'll do the extra deck now. So we've got 2 Buster Blader. I think you always have to play 2 of. I know you can revive this from the grave, but sometimes I've had to use this from the grave as the other dragon, so it's good to have 2. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, never really got into it because I've only got the 1 level 1, so it was hard to go into it. Normally, if this was going to be gone the next turn, I would just overlay for Dingirsu and go into Zeus. But obviously Predaplant to go into the one of the 2 Dragoons. Came up a couple of times, but it was difficult because I wasn't drawing this. It was difficult to get 2 on board because I've just messed up my deck list, really. It's my fault, really. No one else to blame. Omega to try and rip a card, never used it. Dingirsu a couple of times, like summon, send, and then attack, and then make Zeus clear the whole board. That's how I won my game with the Crusadia Dragon Link guy. Linkuriboh, obviously, just like you play 2 level 1s, you just want to get a dragon into the graveyard for your prologue. Anima is kind of the same thing. So Anima I used a couple of times rather than Linkuriboh because I went into Anima and then just baited negate, really. Just went in there, baited negate. I had a dragon in grave, so it didn't really matter. Whelp's a good one because it just says just 2 monsters. So I played against a Dino player. They gave me a token. So practically what happened was they gave me a token. Then I normal summons Whelp, searched with Whelp, used the token and Whelp to make this. Then I sent and summoned, and then that was it for me. It was like easy peasy from there. And then bust Blackluster Soldier. Never made it because when I did have the option to make it, I chose to make Dingirsu instead, to go for Zeus, to just have that option to board wipe rather than just a hard to get rid of monster. And then obviously into the edge. So Lancia is good against a lot of people right now. So I used it against a virtual world player. Dinosaur is good against, so that's really good. DD Crow, I'll put that in against dinosaurs. Saw it a couple of times. It helped occasionally. Never sided in this because I didn't play against any like Drytron or anything really. I did side it in against Infernoble, but never saw it. Dark Ruler, sided it a couple of times, but never really saw it. So not totally great. Twin Twisters, sided it, never saw it. Evenly Matched, I did side it in a couple of times, and I sided it against one guy because I was like, he's going to set loads of back row because it was a mutant player. I sided it in, I drew it, but he bricked, so it was pointless in my hand. because he just set one and passed. So absolutely pointless. And yeah, so my matchups were basically, I played the Infernoble Knight and I got a 2-0 loss on that. There was just nothing I can do. He won the die roll. I went first. His link to his YouTube channel will actually be down in the comment section below. He's just starting out. He's got like 40, 50 subscribers at the moment, so check his channel out, guys. He's playing Infernoble, really good player. He did really well. VFD'd me, which is a fun card, obviously. But yeah, so check him out. Then we've got, so 2-0 that one. Then I played against Virtual World. They went first. They won a die roll, I went first. Of course, they won that. I couldn't really stop them. Then I went first, and then I won that one. The games were kind of dragged out. That was a draw against Virtual World. The games kind of dragged out. Lancia kind of like stopped him from banishing, so he was able to not really do anything. So I managed to get a game, and then obviously that was time. Then I played against Salamangreat. Like, against the Salamangreat, in my opening hand, I had Dark Magician, Red Eyes Black Dragon, no joke, both of them in my hand. Then I had like Harpy's Feather Duster, Where Art Thou, and Anti-Spell Fragrance. I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this? Just absolute, just that is Brick City. Like, how do you not draw any 3-ofs, but draw like 5-1-ofs and a 2-off? How? It was just fucking irritating. And then the next game, same thing. Like, I drew like 2 Sword Memories. I had a Strike in my hand. I had like probably I'm pretty sure I had an Ash. I ashed him from getting something. So it just wasn't great. Like, I was just Brick City. I don't want to make excuses. It's my fault for making such an inconsistent deck and missing key pieces out. But like, maybe it's my shuffling. Then I played against Dogmatica Invoked. So that was another 2-0 loss for me. At this point, I was starting to feel pretty depressed. I was like, this is just going to be how the day is. I fucked up my deck. I'm just going to get battered endlessly. Yeah, nothing I could do. Basically, first game, I just bricked. I just couldn't do anything, really. It was like set and strike pass, just to try and cling on and survive. And then the second game, I died to my own Imperial Order, because that's how it goes. Then I played against, this is when it started to turn around a little bit for me. So I played against a Dino player. I won, then he won, then I won. I clinched the last game. He was only a kid, so not taking anything away from me. He was really good. He played like a True King variant. But obviously I Lanciered him, so he couldn't really do much. And then Dragoon is just a good card. So that's why I won that. And obviously the Buster Lock, I Buster Locked him and explained him to what it is and give him time. Like, I read the cards out and stuff like that. And he was like, so I can't do anything. And I was like, you can activate Misky, Engrave and stuff like that, but once they hit the field, there's nothing you can do, really. You can't activate their effects. So yeah, so I won that because of that. And obviously he gets 1,000 buff. So again, it's difficult to do anything. And then against Mutant, so this is where it gets iffy. Like, his camera disconnected. He said his dog knocked over the router, so he was gone for like 10-15 minutes at first, and then he came back around, but he got a game loss for that. But then second game, that's the person who I sided in evenly matched against, and yeah, I took that game, and unfortunately, like, sometimes it just happens like that. It doesn't really feel like a win, but like, I won the second game, I guess. He was a cool guy though. He was really nice. We had a little chat afterwards during, so yeah, he was a cool guy. And then we went over to Crusader. Then I played against Crusader Dragon Link. He actually used the Kaiju differently. So when he explained his field spell to me that gets Kaiju counters on it, he was like, I search for a Kaiju. I was like, no, my Dragoon's going to get endlessly Kaiju'd, or my Buster Lock's going to get Kaiju'd, for fuck's sake. But he actually was summoning it in defense mode and then using its negate and banish. That's not once per turn. You just remove counters and then negate and banish, which was absolutely crazy. Like, that was nuts. Fortunately, I was able to, when I used prologue, he tried to use the negate and banish, and I striked him. And then obviously once I get the summon, because it's for cost, you can't stop it. You can stop the graveyard, I guess, the graveyard one. But yeah, once I summoned it, that was it. Like uh, yeah, once I got the summon and everything was dragons, like obviously he had Hieratic Seal and Boral's Sword on it. Yeah, I just attacked into those, and he only had one card in hand, so he had to scoop. It was much the same for that. The next game was kind of similar. Like I set up my Buster Lock, and then the next game I just went Dingirsu, attack one thing, got rid of his Hieratic Seal, went into Dingirsu, attacked, and then went to Zeus. And then in his turn, as soon as he summoned, I just sent his board. But again, he was a cool guy, and we chatted for quite a while afterwards. And his deck was really interesting. It was pretty cool to see, like the Crusadia Dragon Link Kaiju mix. Honestly, it was really cool. I really enjoyed that. So we pulled it around, and we're at like 3 wins, 3 losses, and a draw so far. I was quite happy. I was like, oh, I've turned it around. Maybe I can get a nice little win at the end. But I played Tri Brigade Zoo against quite a nice guy, to be honest. His name was Alex. He was a really cool guy. I spoke with him for quite a bit at the end. Yeah, so that game was quite difficult. The first match was kind of like it was just his. He went first and he made the barrier statue, so I need a lot of special summoning, so that kind of fucked me really. So he made that, and then next I couldn't do anything really. I couldn't special summon on mine. I did set the prologue so that if he did do anything with that statue, I was going to make the lock, but he didn't. He just, in the end phase, he summoned Avion with his Smorg and then just attacked for game straight away, and I was like, cool, that's how it goes. Then the next game was absolutely crazy. It was really, really back and forwards. So I started, and I managed to get Dragoon on field, and then he banished the Dragoon with the with Shurag. He banished Shurag with Shurag, so it's non-target and banished. So there's one body gone. I survived that turn. I can't remember what I used. I think I used like Strike or something like that, or he just didn't have enough extenders. So yeah, I survived till the next turn. He couldn't OTK me. And then luckily I managed to get Prologue on the field, so I made the Buster Lock, and then obviously he can't activate any effects. He got through the Buster Lock, and then he set up, attacked me a little bit, and I ended up with like 100 life points. Like, it was crazy. I had like 100 life points on the field or something like that, something crazy. And I made the Buster Lock again, went into Dingirsu, made Zeus, and then he managed to get past my Zeus as well. So Zeus is crazy as well. I think he had a Zeus with like 8 materials on it at one point. He just overlay, and then made Zeus. And I striked it. I gammaed it and then did that because I did have another prologue set. So, it was Trap Trick, sorry. I had a Trap Trick set, so I thought I was going to do well then. But yeah, I spoke with him after for a little while. His name's Alex. Pretty cool. He was a cool guy as well. That game was really fun. Probably, even though I lost, that was the best game I had. Like, backwards, forwards. It was really good. Like, shout outs to Alex. He subscribed to my channel as well. So if he watches this, shout outs to you, Alex, for getting rid of my Dragoon, my Buster Lock, and my Zeus. One after the other, just chipping away at them. But yeah, guys, that's basically how my games have gone. Like, I've rambled on here for like 18 minutes now. I wanted to keep this kind of short, but it's not turned out that way. I'll try and edit it, make it as short as I can. But that's how it's gone. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Let me know what you guys think. Like, if any of you guys are Buster Blader players out there, tell me what you're gonna do. There is a way I want to play like the Tenkis, the Tenyis. Sorry, I want to play the Tenyis. Because there's like the level 7 one that you can go in, make monk, and then that will search for your other Tenki. Then you can go into this, summon one of these, get another level, normal summon your level 1, then make this. This will bring back this, bring back this. So that's what I'm trying to look at now. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, guys, what you think. Let me know. Like, I'm pretty disappointed, but considering I placed 64th, so it's not too bad considering I've only been playing since August. So that's like 6 months? 6 months, something like that. So I've only been playing like half a year, and I got into the top half. I think there was like 134 players or something. So yeah, got in the top half with this crap build. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry for rambling on. Just trying to be more as in depth as I can about my choices and what my plan was. But yeah, thanks guys. Enjoy your week. See you later.